Good morning. It is our last day of boot camp. We are talking about how do I find homeschool help and wrapping up our week. Tomorrow I will announce our winner of our self-care box. And other than that, that is what we're doing. So anyway, let's talk about, how do I find homeschool help? The first thing we've got to work on is the fact that it's okay for you to ask for help. A lot of times mamas, not just homeschool mamas, all mamas, we feel like we're a failure when we need help. We try to do everything ourselves. I'm like, are you feeling me? Because that's how I am. And then we feel like we're a failure if we need a tutor or if we need help. But the thing is you got to think of it a different way. If you have something wrong, like you have a cold, you feel okay going to the doctor to ask for help, right? You don't feel like a failure. If you need a plumber and you have something going on with your plumbing, you call a plumber. Now, you might not want to, but you know that you can't fix it within your area of expertise. That's just how it is. And it's okay to need help. It's okay to ask for help. There is nothing wrong with it. I highly encourage it. Now, we're going to look at some free and we're going to look at some that may not be free. But you always, it's okay, whatever. So anyway, first point is to remember it's okay to ask for help. Your first step is going to determine what type of help you need. Now, that sounds simple, but sometimes, you can be like, dealing with an issue with your child and you just don't know what's going on. So what would you do? You would look for your local veteran homeschool mamas. That is probably your first line of defense because they've been around and they've seen a lot. Find a mentor. If you can't find someone local, find a consultant that, like a homeschool consultant that is good at determining what's going on. That's one of my area of expertise, my strong point. I'm a great second pair of eyes that I can tell you where to go, where you may not stay and continue consulting with me. One of the example of that is I have 2 or 3 special needs consultants that are homeschool mamas. And I often send a client to them because I am not what I consider experienced enough with special needs. So finding a good baseline consultant, not just me. We have a couple of other ones in the group that are awesome. If you had a time management issue, I would send you to Heather Renee. So it's like you would have one session with me and then I'd be sending you somewhere else. So your first line of defense is to find your veteran homeschool mama, find your mentors, find a consultant, even if you have to pay a little bit of money. That's your first line of defense because you have to determine what type of help you need. Whether it's you, whether it's your whole dynamics, whether it's something serious. If it's something serious with your child, you need to figure out what kind of diagnosis you need. Now, if your child was in the public school system, you might have had an IEP. I always recommend that if you have any kind of records at your school system, when you pull your child, if you're planning to continue homeschooling, if you're only planning to do it for 6 months to a year, I would leave records at the school. But if you're planning to homeschool a long time, having that IEP can take you many steps further down the road in getting help. When you have your IEP, then you would take that to your pediatrician and say, here is what we had from the school. I need to find therapist or speech therapist or occupational therapist or whatever you had in there. Will it be free? No. But it's steps in the direction. Sometimes you have to consider therapy and all that stuff as part of school. It is definitely a learning experience. and it's okay. So at this point, if you're dealing with anything, or if you don't have a diagnosis, I suggest finding a homeschool special needs consultant. We have Cindy LaJoy in the group and Heather Colson. We might have another one or two more, but I'm not sure. But they are consultants who specialize in special needs. We have several workshops in the group. That is a great place to start. Excellent, excellent place to start. So the first thing, before you can ask for help, you need get your baseline people, your veteran homeschool mamas who've done it. Usually they know, or they have somebody else know, and you have a second set of eyes to look and see what's going on. Then at that point, or if you have an IEP, you can go to the pediatrician, say, hey, this is going on. We need to figure out what's going on. If there's not a diagnosis, they can start the process of finding a diagnosis. And the reason I say pediatrician is because then your insurance gets involved and they can probably pick up some of the cost. So that's why you have a good working team. So if you're looking for, let's say, something little, it's not a diagnosis, you're not something major, you're looking at a math tutor or a reading tutor. We have several in the group. All you have to do is post and ask, and I can either find you a list or I can tag some people. Math tutors, reading tutors are most usual because those two subjects need to stay strong and on grade level, especially if you plan to go back to the public school system. Or, it happens sometimes. Things happened this year in my covering. I had 2 moms die. It happens. So you have to plan and have some kind of emergency plan when you're working that way. Text me below if you have a certain question about finding help. So really easy. Today's an easy workshop. It's okay to ask for help. Start with your local mamas and have a second set of eyes. Ask them what they think, or, sometimes having somebody, it's like my girl tends to have a sensory processing issue. If I had not talked to mamas who knew what they were talking about, I wouldn't have known what was going on and how to counteract what was going on. We have to ask for help, and it's good to have your people. That comes from building your tribe. A lot of times people get shocked when I'm always more concerned that the mama build a tribe than I am the child having playmates or having socialization. Socialization is a big, scary word that people don't usually know what it means. Socialization can come anywhere. But the thing is if you have a tribe of homeschool mamas, then you have someone to talk to when you have something going on, when you have those little problems, or when you want to see somebody's curriculum. That's how I started my homeschool years. Way back in the day, we've homeschooled over 17 years. It'll be 18 in January. Because I started counting when I started doing school, not when I, from birth. But way back in the day, we would meet at the park, and there'd be times people would bring curriculum, and we'd all look at each other's curriculum. And the kids were a wide range of age. It wasn't any certain age, and they played and had their socialization. But it was more important, I think, for your consistency in your long-term homeschooling, you've got to build a tribe. It is not easy in this day and age. Social media has kind of switched it up. Social media wasn't around when I started. We met at the park. I think our way of communicating, there was like a message board called Meetup. It was free at that time. And we would meet. That's where we would talk to each other. We had a consistent park day, and everybody would show up. And we ended up by the time it ended, it was probably close to 50 families. I mean, that was, and in our area, homeschooling is a huge thing. We have like one of our Facebook groups. So is like over 4,000 people. So we have a huge community in our area. But what's funny is you don't see people meeting at park days. And so I'm telling you, if you can find a park day or start a park day, just pick a consistent day and announce it in your local groups, and people will begin to show up. And then you have to pursue those friendships. You have to be in a consistent area. But having those friendships helps build that community and build where you have a resource base and you have people to ask you, to ask you questions, you ask questions, they ask questions. You need that tribe. That is your first level of defense for finding any help that you might need. Then homeschool legal defense, they do so much more than just legal help if you need it. They have resources and consultants that you can get, and I believe it's part of the membership. That's a fabulous deal. I think there's even some kind of testing there. So that is a place that you can get help that's not legal. They have fabulous resources, so much more. I think it's highly, highly recommended that you do it, that you join in, and I highly recommend it because they just have so much more than just legal stuff. Consultants. We have several great consultants that are in our group for different situations, special needs, time management. I'm more general. I also am very good with curriculum. I'm very good with starting. That is one of my specialties. If you are starting homeschooling, I am a good consultant. And look at the package for this fall. I have my new consulting package, very affordable. When you look at it, if you buy this week, it's $196 for the whole year. And you're going to get consistent consulting, and we're going to build an online peer group. Then Cindy LaJoy, special needs. I always bring up Cindy because I love her so much. She just came out with a book. She sent me one. We're going to have a giveaway. Soon. I've got an extra one on the shelf. But yeah, that having a park day and having people to talk to is probably the top thing, economical thing that I think that all mamas can do. Finding tutors, you can get them on OutSchool. Our public library has a free option. It's not in person, but it's a live, almost like a chat back and forth, where you ask a question and they're chatting back and forth, and that's free. So your library may have tutoring options. We have several in the group, and I have a list that we need to build. But many of those, they're local to me, but most of them went virtual with COVID. So very economical if your children need tutoring, or if you need tutoring. Mama can learn too. If you want to teach your children math and you're nervous, you can brush up on your skills. There are ways to do that. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to not know the math. It's okay to not know the grammar or the history or the science. You have the ability to learn, and you can hire the tutor. I would not. Math, guys, I do weird things with math. Okay, I have math. Growing up, I had math disabilities. That's all they called it. Now I have not been tested, but I am 100% sure I have dyscalculia. That's the name they use for it now. When I was a kid, it was math disabilities. So math was always the subject that I was terrified to teach the whole time growing up, watching the kids. I mean, I've had one go through pre-cal now. I did not teach her pre-cal. I outsourced. Why? Because I never would trust myself to teach my child that high math. Now, I can go up to pre-algebra. I feel confident going to pre-algebra. But after that, then I start outsourcing. And if they need help, they're going to have a tutor. And I don't care what the tutor pays. Because mama has an issue with math. Why do we always feel embarrassed when we have issues? See, even me, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it because it's a sore spot. But I did great. I could probably go higher than pre-algebra, but at that point, by the time I had someone hit that, I had 5, and I was like, I just can't do that. I have to know where it's time to stop. That was where it was time to stop. So, They do teaching textbooks online now, and it's if they need a tutor, then we hire a tutor. We have somebody we call, but it's okay to ask for help. We all mamas have, I don't know, I guess it's like we feel guilt because we ask, and it's okay. So your first challenge is to build your tribe. Your second challenge is to figure out what you need to work on. Now, sometimes you feel overwhelmed and like there's 10,000 things you need to work on. That's okay. Make a list, determine what's most important, and conquer one at a time. That's really one of the main things you need to do your first year is to conquer your stuff. And yeah, things will crop up. You can homeschool for years and then things crop up and you're like, I don't, like pre-cal. You can just work on it and then you make a plan. So you talk to your veteran mamas, build your tribe. That is your biggest thing. And if you need help building a tribe, let me know. I can give you ideas. You might not always like them, but we can figure out how to build that tribe, because that's where you're going to get your second set of eyes. Then don't be afraid to talk to your pediatrician. They can start the ball rolling. If there's something with your child that's major, they can send you where, and then it gets insurance involved, and maybe it'll cut some of the cost. In Alabama, we don't have, everyone is supposed to have access to special therapies and stuff through the school system. The problem is if you're not a traditional student, you're on the bottom of the list. And if they run out of money, then you don't get served. And that's understandable because you're not enrolled as a traditional student. I get that. I don't always like it, but I get it. But you can always start there and see if you can get those services, because they'll give you an IEP and a diagnosis and stuff like that. And you can always start there, but don't be frustrated if they tell you there's no funds. They're not trying. I used to think the school system was the worst place in the world, but as I've gotten older, I don't think anybody is actually out to get anybody else. I just think there's a lot of misunderstanding. So, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong, but when they say there are no funds, there's just usually no funds. And let's just be honest. Private diagnosis and private tutoring and private therapies, it's just probably, it's going to be a better quality. There's more involved. And it's not fun to pay, but it's part of school. You put it in your budget and you consider it part of your budget. And that's okay. If you're out at the doctors doing therapy, it's a school day. They're learning something. I totally count that as a school day. So anyway, that is our where to find help, and we're going to wrap up our week. We have had 6 workshops. They are all on the YouTube channel. They will stay in the group until Monday morning, probably. I'll get rid of them on Monday morning. They will be deleted. They will stay on the YouTube channel, but not in the group. Most of our workshops are being removed from Facebook because they're just simply too hard to find. You will find them you'll find them on the website, either in a bundle that you can buy or a free. Some will be free, some will not. It just depends on whether I had to pay the workshop leader, because sometimes I have to pay them. So you'll find them there. You'll find some because of the way the website is loaded, some of them will be on YouTube. You can find them there, but we're going to begin to, I've said it for over a year now. I'm serious now. We've got to remove them and put them so that people can find them, because when you have all these, we have over 3 years worth of workshops in Professional Home Educator. They are fabulous workshops, but in Facebook, you can't find them. They get buried. You can search the engine, but if you don't put the right words in, it doesn't pull up what you want. And that comes from my area where maybe I didn't tag it right, or maybe the tags, they changed things on Facebook, and maybe however I had them tagged is gone and they've changed it to something else. It's just really hard to find things. And we have such wonderful resources for free I'm very passionate about having free and affordable help for mamas and resources. That is a passion for mine for over 15 years. So you will find workshop bundles. Some will be free, some will be paid. It's low cost. I think probably the most expensive thing I have there is $50. But we are adding the new consulting package, which makes consulting very, very affordable for you. Everything that is listed in that package, if you bought it separately, it would be over $700. I have greatly reduced it, and even reduced it more this week, because this week you get the 51% off. If you buy it after this week, it's going to be $400. There might be a couple of coupons this summer, but I'm not going to have a lot, because I've already reduced it from $700 down to $400. It is a full year. It is in-depth workshops. And when I mean in-depth workshops, it's not going to be a 30-minute workshop. It's going to be, I am following that subject to the very end. Like if we're talking scheduling, we're going to start at the beginning with the definitions and move through to the very end of scheduling. Then we'll have personal one-on-one time 4 times a year, which is a $200 value. We're going to have 4 group meetings a month where you can bring your schedule. Like if that's the subject of the month, you bring your schedule. I will help you fine tune your schedule and show you how to do it. This is like having a mentoring mama on call all year long. I'm your girl. That is one of my strengths. I want you to succeed. I want you to feel fabulous and confident and feel like you can walk for the next 15 years and homeschool with confidence. I want to turn you into a veteran homeschool mama. That's what I want to do. I want you confident so that you can turn around, and if that mama needs help, you can look at her and help her. That's how it works. I help you, you help her. It's a pay it forward thing. That is what we want for the consulting package. 1 month will be scheduling. Another one, we're going to go through lesson planning. We can even fine tune it. If you had something you really, really wanted, we could do it. So if you bought it all separate, it would be a $700 package. It is $196 this week until Sunday night. I've extended it to Sunday night, and honestly, I'm closing it off at $200. I know I will have $200 by the end of the summer. I have no doubt that I will have 200 mamas. It's a no-brainer, because I can walk with you through the year, help you learn, and then you're able to turn around and help the next mama. And that is where it's all about. That's what it's all about, is having community and moving forward and being able to turn and say, here, mama, let me help you. That's what I want. We want to help each other. Mamas are important. Y'all have no idea how important you are. You are the center of your home. And if you feel happy and successful and confident, then you're going to have children who are happy and successful and confident. And they're going to succeed, because you can do it. You are enough. You're enough. It's just, mamas are really great about doubting ourselves. I mean, we sit there and I do it. I do it all the time. I'll go, oh my God, I can't do this. And it's not true. You are enough. And it's just sometimes we have to search for answers. Sometimes we have to do a little bit of research. Sometimes we have to learn how to do the math. And that's okay, because being a homeschool mom is a job. It is a profession. It is a job that other adults will go out and get a degree for and make money on. So I want you to value yourself. I want you to feel confident that you can do this, because you are awesome. And let me know how I can help. We love scheduling workshops. that support y'all. And if you don't talk to us and tell us what you need, we don't know. We love having interviews. If there's somebody you really want to hear, or there's a product you really want to see, let us know. We will see if we can get it on the schedule for the year. It's just, there's so many things we could do, but you have to talk and let us know, because we want you to succeed. We want to support you. Take a look in my shops. I will put the link down below. Everything is 51% until Sunday night. It's my birthday week. I turned 51, so everyone gets 51%. The new package. If you get the consultant, I know I keep talking about it, but I'm so excited about it because it's like I'm going to work with a focused group, a small group. It's not like in the thousands like I'm used to, because the local group that I'm in, that I help and I teach, is over 4,000. Professional home educator is over 3,000. Let's see, homeschool and super moms is over 1,000. This is a huge number of people. So I'm really excited about that small number, because we can cover a lot and do a lot. But if you get that consulting, it's $196. You're going to get Susan's record keeping, because we're going to go through that and set that up too. That's one of my plans in the scheduling and lesson planning part. And you're going to get all the workshops and everything you're going to get everything for that $196. So anyway, this is our wrap up. We have had a wonderful boot camp week. I have enjoyed y'all. Let me know what you want this fall. Who do you want us to interview? Who do you want to teach a workshop? What workshops do you want me and Susan to teach? Put things down on the bottom. Remember to start building your tribe. Make it on your calendar consistent. Find a play group. Even if your kids are older, teens usually can go to play dates. There's usually something they can do. Build your tribe so that you have that support system when you need help. Find yourself a consultant. I'm your girl. Let's have a fabulous, wonderful, strong year. And let's be able to give to our homeschool community more than what we take back. Let's learn, move forward so that we can help each other, because that's how we grow. Have a wonderful day. I am headed to my mama's for my birthday to celebrate. I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.